You're listening to Gin and Chat with Lo and Nat. So pour yourself a chilled martini and sit down for a chat. Hello, welcome back to Gin and Chat.
Okay, I can't
We're
do
over
it.
that. I actually really hate ASMR videos too.
I do too. I
They
can't
make
stand
me
them.
anxious, so I don't know why we just decided to do that. They're fun to do, bad to listen to.
Bad to listen to. I can't stand it. But cheers.
Cheers, Nat.
Woo. Welcome back to Gin and Chat.
With Lo and Nat.
Can't forget.
Can't forget. We won't let you, actually.
And we're wearing black today to mourn the loss of our dating lives that don't exist.
Was she? That's just it.
I don't know. It's
No,
just-
100%.
Yeah.
That was accurate. And
Totally.
we didn't even plan this. So.
Nope. We're just ninjas. Let's go.
Let's get down to business. Literally
So good.
mourn the life of our dating life.
Yep.
Well, no, I think that we're used to being lover girls.
We are.
We're used to being in very committed relationships.
Absolutely.
And we're not right now. So yeah, we'll mourn the loss of that. But we're
Yes.
dating.
We are. I will give us that. We are dating. We're
Kinda.
putting ourselves out there. Kinda. We could do better.
We are casually dating for the first time ever.
Yes. So we're mourning the loss of the lover girl era.
Right. We got to put up our shield a little bit. No.
That was the sound of a shield, apparently.
We got to put on our shield.
Yes.
We got to put on our armor like
Absolutely.
Lady Gaga did.
We're getting
when
tough.
She was doing her Coachella performance, and we got to go out there
Yes.
with our armor on.
Be brave. Be bold.
Exactly. Get it down to business.
Be ready for the men of
So
2025.
I hope you like our introduction to our episode where we're going to talk about dating.
Yep. If you couldn't tell.
You could not tell, today is our do's and don'ts of dating.
Woo.
DDD.
The
Don'ts
DDD.
dating. The DDD.
The dirty do's and don'ts.
DDD. Oh no.
Perfect. We're excited. We actually have been getting quite a few questions in our Q&A segment about like dating and tips and all the things. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about it all
We're going to
today.
share because look, we don't really know what we're doing either.
No.
We'll tell you our experiences, and then what you decide to do from there is fully up to you. That is
Yes.
not on us. Okay?
Nope.
So we're just going to preface this episode by saying that. That is
Disclaimer.
Not on us. Not on us. Okay.
You have free will to do whatever you please.
100%. Okay, well, I feel like I talked about this in like the first or second or maybe third. I don't even know what episode it was.
We're losing track. We're doing so many.
Literally. But I did talk about like casually dating for the first time
Yeah.
ever and having been like single without a boyfriend, the label of a boyfriend the past 2 years.
Totally.
So I've had a lot of time for first dates with men from dating apps or, you know, people from my past that came back or
Yeah.
just like funny stories with first dates. And I feel like I have to tell.
We got some good ones.
I have to tell you guys the story because I was debating. I was going back and forth on if I should say it on the pod, but I feel like it's too good not to.
It's too good not to. I'm really excited to hear it.
Again. Now we've heard this like literally 10 times.
Yeah, but it never gets old.
Never gets old.
It's a classic.
All right. So the year was 2024.
So long ago. Way back in the day.
Way back in the day. I went to Dave & Buster's with this man, and
Good
it was
one.
a very casual thing. There was a fight, a UFC fight going on that night. So testosterone levels were up with these men.
Hot-headed men up in
And
there.
also, like, you know, you have to pay, like, I don't know what it is, but that subscription to watch the UFC fight at home, right?
Oh, okay.
So these are all the men that were like, I'm not going to pay for it at home. I'm going to go to Dave & Buster's and get the cheap drinks there.
They're cheap. Hashtag cheap.
And that's where I was that night. Okay.
A place where she doesn't belong.
I literally was, I hope you know, you guys, I ordered a gin and tonic at the bar too. I first tried to order a gin martini with a twist. Of
course.
They said, we could do a gin and tonic. And I was like, okay, here we go.
And if they say no to a gin martini with a twist, that's your first sign to
Your
leave.
first sign. I should have walked my ass right out of there when that happened.
Get out of here.
100%. Okay, so I'm having my gin and tonic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a good time, kind of watching this fight,
Sure.
trying to be into it.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, what? I'm confused by this sport. Like, I understand Rocky. I love that movie. Like,
Yeah.
you get to the top of the stairs, you train. Like, absolutely.
Let's go.
What's that song?
Oh my God, don't put me on the spot.
I know, I'm putting myself
Now
on
I'm
the
going to
spot.
embarrass myself.
No, I don't know what
We're going to get canceled.
I don't know what I...
Literally all I can think of is everybody was kung fu fighting. And I know that's not it.
That's Kung Fu Panda, right?
Yeah, that's not it. And I know this. It's going to hit me like in the middle of the episode.
Totally.
So
okay, so
we'll
anyway,
circle back to that.
watching the UFC fight with this man, I go to the bathroom for maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 minutes.
Quick.
In and out. Maybe I reapply lip gloss. That's it. I get back to literally the scene of the crime, and I see him being like fighting with this guy. I see him kind of yelling. They're standing up. Everybody's staring, and I walk into this, and I'm literally like looking around, like, is that the guy? Yeah. What is happening? So then he comes rushing over to me, and he's like, let's go. That's crazy. Let's go. And the guy's like screaming at us, and everyone there is staring at us. Like they were fully just fighting. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this man just got into a bar fight at Dave & Buster's.
On your date.
So, and I was like, so we're leaving. Like I'm going home. So I walk outside. We're walking to my car. I drove myself there. Yeah. Like that's an important part of the story. I drove myself there. So I'm walking to my car. I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, oh, I just want to go home. Like, are you kidding me? And then the guy comes sprinting out of Dave & Buster's, like fully sprinting towards us. I start screaming because I literally was like, he's about to beat his ass into the ground. And I have to watch this. And I don't even know what I'm going to do. Like
terrified.
Freaking out. And there was just like rage in this man's eyes, like there was no reasoning with him. I understand maybe how they kind of got into a tiff inside because this guy was clearly like incoherent and just like
drunk, probably
unreasonable. Yeah. So then he starts like pushing the guy that I'm with.
Oh
like,
no.
Pushing him. And I'm freaking out. Like I'm looking around and I'm like, somebody call the cops. Like, somebody call the cops. What are you doing?
All 5'2" of her is over here. Like,
literally.
How do I get in the middle of these two grown ass men?
Grown. So the other guy was like shorter, but the guy that I was with was tall.
Of course.
Classic. I know. I always pick the tall ones. So then I'm like trying to get in the middle of them, which I should not have done. This man then pushes me, like fully pushes me out of the way. I nearly fall to my ass on the ground.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what you're not going to do. So of course I called 911 because I was like, absolutely.
What else do you do?
So as I'm calling like 911, the guy sees that I'm calling the cops. He whips his phone to the guy that I'm with.
Oh, perfect.
Going to the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Looks in and is like, say you're a little bitch and we'll be done. Like he's recording the guy that I'm with. It's like, say you're a little bitch and we'll be done. And I was just standing there at this point like,
I don't know what to do.
What's going to happen? Is he going to say it? Like, I don't know. And then he looks at like the guy I'm with. He looks at me. He looks at the guy recording. He puts up his hands and he goes, I'm a little bitch. And I was like, this is hands down the craziest date I've ever been on.
100%.
100%.
That's epic.
No.
That like goes down in history as one of the craziest dates ever.
Then I'm still on the phone with cops. This guy starts running away.
Perfect.
Cops had picked up. They're like, ma'am, where are you? And I'm like, there's a bar fight going on. This guy followed me out. He pushed me. Like, I'm sobbing at this point, too.
Of course, you're a water sign.
I'm like, one thing about me, I do cry a lot.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's welcomed here.
Yes. So then the guy starts running away. He turns around. He's addressing the man that I'm with and is like, tell your girl to get off the phone. It's over. You're a little bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, excuse my language for all this. I'm just repeating.
She's repeating.
I'm repeating what this crazy person said, but like, get the fuck off the phone, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, he was like, it's over. It's over. And I go, it is not over. I was like, you pushed me. Who raised you? Who raised you? What kind of man do you think you are? And then as I'm yelling at this man, the cop on the phone was like, I need a description. Like trying to get me to like talk to him on the phone. And I go, oh, you need a description? I go, he's ugly. And, and then I just start insulting the guy.
Of course.
I'm like, he's wearing an ugly red shirt and he's short. And then the guy I was with was like, Lauren, stop insulting this guy.
Yeah.
Like, let him
You're
go.
gonna make it worse.
Let him go. So then that other guy runs off. And then
Oh my goodness.
the guy I'm with comes back to me and he's like, okay, I didn't want to fight in front of you. Now he's trying to act all tough.
Oh, of course.
After he just has a recording of himself saying he's a little bitch. And he was like, I didn't want to fight in front of you, but like, she pushed you. Like, do you want me to go beat him up?
Oh, please. Like, you're capable of doing that
And I
now.
literally was like, no, I'm good now. I just want to go home.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't go home because I had to file a police report for battery because I called the cops.
Perfect.
So I'm tears streaming down my
Yeah.
face. I'm filing this police report. This man tries like touching my arm, and I literally looked at him and I was like, "Do not touch me.
Don't touch me.
Do not touch me." and then we get in the car afterwards because I have to like drive him to his car, and it's just silent, and I'm just like, like sobbing, and he goes, "So." So that was like worst case scenario for tonight.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
I was like, and I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's thinking to himself, like, "Oh, I totally secured a second date."
And after that, I literally did not go on a date for like the rest of the summer.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I
Good.
was just like,
I wouldn't either. I'd be scarred for life, to be honest.
Sit after that. What are we drinking today? We didn't tell.
Oh, well, you know what, guys? We're just going to be fully honest with you. This is an embarrassingly sad mixture of things, but it's giving it's all we had at the house. And we're struggling right now pumping out episodes for you as we're about to travel for a while. So today you get gin and Sprite, which honestly is not bad.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
It reminds me of a gin and tonic because when I first got a gin and tonic, I remember thinking to myself, this tastes just like Sprite. So honestly, gin and Sprite, it's a winning combo. You could order that at the bar. You know, unfortunately, I don't have a story about dating that's that crazy.
And I'm glad, hold my hand when I say this, I'm glad you don't.
Me too.
Glad you don't.
You know, I do have. Am I really gonna expose myself? Yeah, it's fine. So I did have. It's pretty funny. You know, it's worth it. It's funny.
You should say it.
How all good stories start in Vegas at a club, and I'm dating this person, so we're fully in a relationship, and we're outside, and he gets mad at me for. To be honest, I have no idea. I genuinely couldn't tell you what I did wrong. So that's a strong start.
Yeah, always.
We're fighting. My friends are there. Lauren is actually there this night, of course, but we're not, not anywhere near each other. And so
if we were.
Oh, she would have stepped right in.
My mind.
All 5'2" of her would have been like, "You shut up."
I would have done the same thing that I did before.
Exactly. I am calling the police.
911.
So unfortunately, she wasn't there to save the day.
Yeah.
So this man is screaming at me at the club. Mind you, his place of work, actually, screaming at me. And I'm freaking out.
That phrase alone, at the club, his place of work.
Yeah, red flag. Run away.
Yeah, cool.
So this is happening, right? And he storms off in the middle of the fight. And I am the type of person who likes to mediate a situation, and I hate ending things on a bad note. So I will always try to apologize or just make sure we get to a place where things are good. We're calm. Right. So of course I follow him. I'm like, yes, I'm going to follow you.
Also, you're dating this person. What do you think in that moment too?
Of course.
You're of course going to
I'm
be
like, I love this person. I'm going to chase after them. So I do. And that was my mistake. We are walking through the lobby of this said hotel, and this man screams at the top of his lungs. I can't make this shit up, you guys.
It's so bad.
He goes, "Security, get this girl away from me." I was so embarrassed. I'm literally looking around like, this is my boyfriend, mind you, and he's yelling at security to get me away from him for something that I don't even know what I did wrong. What did I do? Just tell me what I did.
You know what you did? You were hot at a club.
Right. Sorry.
With him,
My bad. And listen, I understand what crossing boundaries looks like. I don't do that. I am like the most loyal girlfriend on the planet.
Yes. Yeah. Lover girl.
Lover girl.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that happened to me, and it was pretty embarrassing. And then he felt bad once I made him realize that he was my ride home. Because I was you know, we ended up getting to the car and fighting more. And I was basically like, okay, well then I'm going to walk. And I left the car and he was like, well, how are you going to get home? And I was like, what do you mean? I don't know. Call an Uber. I'm an adult. I can figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's when he felt bad and
when
came to
threatened to leave. And that right there is an insecure man. I have no problem saying that on the pod. Insecure man,
Right.
Small dick energy. Sorry, I'll say
safe
it.
to say we're not together anymore.
And again, let me hold your hand when I say this. Thank God for that. Literally, thank God. Mind you, the whole night I'm literally like, where's Natalie? Like you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It was a whole scene.
Also, you know you're in the wrong relationship if you've ever experienced this where you have to make excuses for the person that you're dating. I had to do that so many times, unfortunately. And I specifically remember in this moment, I had to text Lauren and be like, make up some excuse like, oh, I'm fine, but like, I'm just tired or something. And I wanted to go home, but like, you have a great night with the rest of our friends and blah, 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 blah. Like, how embarrassing. Yeah. Like, I had to lie to my literal best friend to make the person that I'm dating seem better.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So if you've ever had to do that, I feel for you and I'm sorry. And maybe reevaluate that relationship.
Because maybe it's not, if you ever have to lie to the people that you love to
terrible.
Protect that person, then it's not the right person.
Not good. Not good.
You know, we've all been there.
Yep.
I've definitely been there. I remember in college one time when I was dating this guy, my mom didn't like him for very good reason.
Yeah.
And she saw I was kind of going back and forth with him. And my mom had like my location in college just for like safety purposes. But like, did she check it often? I'm sure.
Yeah.
But she saw that I was at this guy's house again. And I remember she texted me and I literally like turned my phone off because I was like, I'm an adult. Like, she can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And then and I look back now and I'm like, oh my God, I wish I would have listened to her that time around.
Yep.
Like, if the people in your life who know you the best, who care for you so deeply, are telling you,
So
like,
true.
I'm seeing some of these patterns. And honestly, it's not like, I feel like not necessarily pertaining it to like your past relationship, but any like relationship that you have to protect someone.
Yep.
It's he or she isn't necessarily going to change, but like the person that you are when you're with them changes.
100%.
And that was the thing where my mom was like, you are not the same person when you are with him.
Yeah.
Like, you are more anxious. You are a worse version of yourself. You like are doing things that you normally wouldn't do. So evaluate that first.
Yeah.
You know, because I think we go into relationships often where we're like, oh, we can fix this person.
Yep.
And no,
I'm a big fixer.
I'm a big fixer. But in the meantime, he actually ends up changing me for the worse. I don't change him for the better.
I think that's the best piece of advice is pay attention to who you are when you're with this person because the right person for you is going to make you want to become the best version of yourself. Like if you are with someone that you're like, I am leveling up for this person, they inspire me, they make me want to be better, they make me want to work harder. That's the person that you want to be with.
Exactly.
Not somebody where you look back a year later and you're like, what happened to me? Like, who am I? I feel so lost. And unfortunately also, don't beat yourself up over it. Like, there are so many people out there who have stayed in relationships longer than they maybe should have, but nothing is a mistake. And even though I look back on some of these moments in my dating history and I'm like, what was I thinking? Literally. But at the end of the day, I learned something from it and I grew and became a stronger, better version of myself for it.
Yep.
And also, like, we've had friends where we've had to tell them, like, hey, girl, like, maybe you should reevaluate this one.
The hey girl test.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, they don't listen. At the end of the day, it's a decision that you have to decide when you're ready to decide it. And it is okay if it takes a little longer than it should.
And also, like, if you have a friend that's in a situation like that, like, know that you are, like, I would always tell Natalie, like, I'm team Natalie.
Yeah.
So whatever you want to do, whatever makes you happy, if you're being honest with me and open with me about it, then like, I'm here for you, of course. Because again, you are not going to try to change the situation or their connection with that person. And if you try to, it's just going to end up like hurting your friendship more. And of course, I think there's like boundaries within that. And if it's like a very toxic, abusive relationship,
Different story.
That's a completely different story. But if there's like in dark cases in the past, like you definitely told me like, I think you can do better, but I support you and I've done the same, you know?
Yeah.
But now we are at a place where we know exactly what we want,
Very
what
picky.
we don't want, how we want to feel in a relationship. And that's the type of things or people that we are going to be dating.
Yeah. And I was going to say also what you just spoke upon, like that is the best stance to have as a friend.
Totally.
One where you're like involved, but you're also not trying to control because you know, ultimately it's up to that person.
Yeah.
And so that's going to save our friendship because like you said, like if you were to try to really control the situation or tell me I can't do something, that's going to make me push you away. Because unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, you're going to choose the person you're in a relationship with over your friendship.
And it sucks.
It sucks, but it's true.
It's true. And I've been there where I've done that. I literally have chosen like a relationship over like family members sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
Like, like someone that I was like deeply, like, it was very toxic.
Love is blind. It's like tunnel vision. You get into a relationship and you're
that's why
like,
when you get out, you're like, whoa, I see everything now. Like when you wake up and see those things.
what do they say? Rose-colored lenses, rose-colored glasses. It's so real.
So true.
And then you get separation and you're like,
now you take off the glasses and you're like, holy shit. I see colors
holy
now.
shit.
That's crazy.
Literally.
Well, we're not doing that anymore, and I'm proud of us for that. And I think we can go into dating situations and know how to choose ourselves. And that's what we're doing now. We're trying it that way.
So Lauren,
You literally have to put your password in.
I'm dead.
We might have to cut this out, but
I'm just gonna tap that real quick. Okay, so what I want to know is tell us your opinion on dating apps. How are you dating right now, Lauren?
How am I dating right now? I do not mind a dating app, actually.
Okay, work.
I think that I'm obviously would love to meet people IRL, but I've met some people IRL that are a little, that I've actually met some great people from a dating app. Actually, went like a year relationship with a guy that I met on Hinge.
Let's go Hinge. You know what? I've heard of a lot of successful relationships coming out of Hinge.
Yeah.
I've personally never experienced that, but now I'm thinking maybe I should give it another chance.
I also think it's just like with like casual dating, it's a great way to just put yourself out there.
Totally.
Because nowadays, just the reality of it is like, if you are someone who wants to be going on like a lot of dates per month, like you're probably not going to meet those people in real life. That's probably like more one-off.
True.
You're actually going to be able, like numbers wise, to get those dates in if you're meeting people via dating apps.
Also, I will say it is really hard in this day and age of dating. And also, Lauren and I have the combined difficulty now of like, I'd mostly work from home. And when I don't work from home, like if I'm dancing, you know, as I've stated on this podcast before, A, I don't date dancers, and B, the dance.
It's the girls and the gays. Like
It's the girls and the gays. I don't have a lot of options there.
Right.
And so it's hard for me because I'm not going into an office. I'm not meeting people that way. I'm also like tend to be like a workaholic and a homebody. So it's hard for me to even get out. So I'm not meeting a ton of people all the time.
I think you should at least get on Hinge.
I know.
Because it's just like you have the option to.
I should.
And you're like technically meeting all these people. I think would be a fun like Sagittarius thing for you to do. Find a new man to like flirt with.
Okay,
and, like
work.
maybe go on like one date a month. That's more than what we're
I
doing
am a
now,
flirt.
so.
I definitely am a flirt.
Yeah, you're such a flirt. Like go out there and flirt, you know?
Well, let me put this on air because maybe my dream man listens to Gin&Chat.
Right.
I am looking for another creative, however, not a dancer. I feel like I need a man who is very secure in himself, who is very independent, and maybe he's like a musician. I love musicians.
Yeah,
Definitely have a thing for those.
I could so see you with a musician.
Maybe I'm apprehensive about a DJ.
I think a
Open to
musician who's like a guitarist for a band or a drummer.
love
for a
that.
band.
Okay.
Like kind of like truly in it for the music.
Yes.
Backseat. He doesn't
Or
have to be
a
the front
music
man.
producer. Fierce. I love that. That's really cool to me. Or an athlete. I'm open.
I
But
could see you with both. But I think like our standards are a little higher now.
oh, for sure.
To that.
I've also learned that like I think I've been looking in the wrong places, if that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah, because tell me why, like we went to Coachella and we were like, we might find our husband here.
Idiot.
I don't want to find my husband dancing at the Dulab.
At a music festival.
No, I really don't.
Yeah, literally. Talk about rose-colored lenses.
Literally.
Yeah. So I need to start. I was telling my dad, I was like, where would my husband be? You know, my future husband is definitely like golfing with the boys. Maybe he's taking like weekend trips to the Hamptons.
Right. But
I don't know. Like those are the places I need to be looking.
But it's like we've grown up so much, and this is just what happens, especially from like 23 to 28.
Yep.
Like for women at least. I'll
Totally.
say. So we grow up so much, and I'm like, well, yeah, I don't want to meet my next boyfriend at the bungalow in Santa Monica like I would have when I was 23, and I would have
Absolutely.
been fine with that. But it's like, then we shouldn't again be looking in those places and do exactly what you just said.
Yep.
Go to the golf tournaments. I don't know. Go to a country club.
A
I have no
pickleball club. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Like having those non-negotiables, like I want them to be, I don't need them to be like super, super rich. I feel like I'm giving off the wrong vibe with the
Right,
country club
totally.
stuff. But I want you to be like capable. I want you to be energetic. I want you to be fit and enjoy that type of lifestyle because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And I think it will naturally come because we are naturally upholding ourselves to those standards.
Yeah.
So then we'll like just the law of like energy.
Yeah,
We'll
we
find
want
those
someone to
people.
match our energy.
Exactly.
And it's not about wealth, it's about drive, it's about passion. And I think like we are two people that have such a strong passion for what we do and a very strong work ethic and drive and ambition. And like most of the time, despite like our little fun adventures to Coachella, you will see us working more than not, you know, like that's what we love to do. And so we want to be with people that match that energy. Like, I don't want to be with someone that just wants to sit on the couch all day and
Absolutely
let me be their mother. Good God.
No more of that.
No more of that.
On that note, we do have to do our Q&A segment. We got to
Already?
answer the people's questions.
Let's go.
I know. So the first question, what is something we wish that the other person knew about themselves?
Oh, that's good.
I know.
I like it. Doesn't have to do with dating, but I like it.
No, we're switching it up.
I would say I wish Lauren knew how talented she was. I think that sometimes she downplays her talent, and it is hard when you're doing like an art form. Like I think you tend to be your worst critic, and so you always compare yourself to other people, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm as good as them or whatever. But I think you should own your talent more.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, love you. I just started with
That was an awkward handhold. They got it on camera. We were like,
Okay, I would say that I wish you gave yourself credit more for your accomplishments. Because I feel like
good.
you downplay your accomplishments
me too.
to yourself even sometimes. And I feel like daily you kind of see the fruits of your labor, but you don't like fully take it in on like an emotional level.
That's good.
And I feel like I wish you did.
I'm starting to tear up. She's right.
It's the gin.
Anyway,
and Sprite.
next question.
Next question. Oh, if we couldn't dance, what job would we be doing?
Ooh, that's tough. Okay, well, I mean, obviously, I would say fitness, but I feel like that's a cop out. Okay.
That was like our side gig, so we've done
Totally. What would I be doing? Okay,
like
well,
full-time job. You know?
my second major was actually PR and ad in college, and I always thought that I would be really good at like owning a marketing agency.
Totally.
Or like event planning, I think would be really fun. Like
could
I always
so
think
see you.
about like the people who like host the like brand trips for Coachella or the people that plan that stuff because I'm such a planner and an organizer. I think I would slay at that.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good one.
More behind the scenes role.
Right. But like I could see you with like the headphones on and like talking to someone and you want these
Yes.
things to get done and like
Yes, Rocco, you need to bring the ice chest to the right immediately.
literally
I don't know why that just came
a little
out.
bit more to the right.
However, in a dream world, if I like died and reincarnated
Oh, okay.
and like could have a full second shot at life, I would be a singer. I really wish I could sing. Like I kind of can. I can hold a tune. I just like can't do anything fancy.
Yeah.
But I wish I could just wake up and see what it would feel like to be like Whitney Houston.
No, I always think that because like what do you mean singers can go and it
No,
sounds
exactly.
so good.
How do you
That's
just like
insane.
open your mouth and do that? Like how cool. I would want to be a pop star. It looks so
That would
fun.
be- like Elisa.
Yeah.
I know we didn't go to her set at Coachella, but I'm seeing all the like TikToks of it now that I've caused Elisa Jenny Ward in my TikTok comments by accident. It's all over my For You page, and she's so fierce.
So
I'm
cool.
Like, I would literally love
Like
to do
Tate McRae, I'm sorry, I'm so jealous of you. She said triple threat. She said, I was born to be a dancer, and literally went on So You Think You Can Dance Junior. And then she was like top of the field in dance. And then now she's a pop star. And I'm like, girl, what can't you do?
To like know her mindset behind like her accomplishments, like how she got there, like what her day-to-day looks like, you know?
Amazing.
That would be cool.
Okay, maybe one day we'll interview Tate McRae.
Yeah, we'll add that to our list. What job would I be doing? I would definitely be a therapist.
Okay, of course. That
100%.
makes so much sense.
100%.
Duh.
I think I would want to go into like EMDR work.
Ooh, intense. Okay.
Yeah, and really study like the trauma brain. Yeah.
I could see that for you.
And then I feel like maybe my EMDR therapy work would then lead me to like spiritual work.
Ooh.
And I would lead like, it's like I would be, what is that called?
You would like align chakras?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what it's called.
Oh, well,
but
I've been told by multiple, oh my God, why can't I think? Psychics, there I go. I've been told by multiple psychics that I actually am psychic.
Word.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were like, you
I can see
possess the power if you just keep leaning into that. So I was like, work. Okay, so I think I would do that.
Listen, you might still have time in this lifetime.
I honestly, why not?
Hell yeah.
Catch me in a year. I'm going to be like, I know what you're about to say.
Once this podcast takes off, catch Lauren switching over to being a therapist.
We'll change the pod.
Perfect.
Okay, last thing, because it's like a cute little question. You
Hit
gotta
me.
answer the people's questions. Favorite cheat meal?
Ooh. Easy. Chick-fil-A.
Mine's Carl's Jr.
Wow, really?
Famous star.
That
Fuck
was
yeah.
unexpected.
I knew you would say that.
I thought you were going to agree with
No,
me.
famous star from Carl's Jr., but I don't like the Carl's Jr. fries. So literally just the famous star.
Just the famous star. Wow, I've got to try the famous star.
It's my favorite. I never have it because I literally can't with like all the gluten and stuff.
Yeah.
But so good.
Amazing. Well, I hope we gave you guys some good tips on dating. I
We
think we more so
definitely
just
did.
told some stories, but we gave some
We were
advice.
entertained. We gave some advice.
We hope you were entertained, per usual.
Usual. So thank you for joining us today. I had the laptop today. It was quite fun. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Let's down it. Ready?
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you had a great chat. Lo and Nat can't wait to have you back.